it's odd to us not to have a backing or have the rhythm section and all that, and trying to make stuff interesting enough to do this. So it's yeah, so it makes it a lot of fun.
This is Live at the Hall from the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum. This week, award-winning fiddle players Jason Carter and Bronwyn Keith-Hynes perform for a live audience in the museum's Ford Theater.
Thank you, everybody. This is so cool. Wow, this is awesome. This is our first gig ever together, so that's pretty cool. You guys are witnessing history here. We got a lot of chances to play fiddles the last couple years during the pandemic when we'd both been on the road so much, and then we were home and suddenly just playing a ton together. So we started making all these videos. Oh yeah, and it was just really fun. And now we've been back on the road a bunch this year, and we haven't had that much time to play together anymore because we both play in different bands, but it was really nice to have this opportunity to get to work up some twin fiddle, and we've got some fiddle and guitar stuff for you guys, so thank you for coming and hanging out.
Like for this show, we did practice some songs. We had these worked up a while back, like during the pandemic, but then we started touring, and she went on the road with Molly, and I was on the road with Dell and the Traveling McCourys, and then we would still play around the house, you know. We would play some, and but not really working anything up, and then we found out we were going to get to do this. We went back and started trying to relearn all these tunes. So we would sit around in the evening and try to figure out who was going to play the lead and who played the harmony, and try to remember all that stuff, I guess. Yeah. I was saying I wish we would have had, why can't we, where's the time go, you know, or why can't we find more time to practice, you know, but it was not as much as what you had. Well, I'm sure it probably comes across in my playing that I didn't practice too much.
We're gonna do this next one. It's kind of an old-time song that Jason's gonna sing. I think you got it from, you heard Old Bell Reed do it, and
Yeah.
John Hartford, and yeah, it's a cool one.
Yeah, my dad actually used to sing this when I was a kid, and played it on the fiddle too, so. Yeah, getting to do this kind of stuff is, we're doing songs that we normally don't do. So forgive me if I forget the words. Because I really don't know it.
Yeah, you do,
This is called Bonaparte's Retreat. Do you want to try it? I think so. beneath the stars up above. She was the sweetest girl I ever did see, so I held her in my arms and told her of her many charms. I kissed her as the fiddles played the Bonaparte's retreat. All the world was bright as I held her on that night, and I heard her say, please don't ever go away. So I held her in my arms and told her of her many charms. I kissed her as the fiddles played the Bonaparte's retreat. When I joined the McCoury band was in 1992, February 1992, and that was kind of my dream to play in that band. And I was playing with a band called the Goins Brothers from Northeast Kentucky at the time, and we played a show here in Nashville. And the guy I got this fiddle from, his name is Tad Marks, and he was the former fiddle player in the McCoury band before me. So anyway, Tad came up to me and he said, hey, the McCourys are moving to Nashville and I'm not making the move, so there's going to be a job opening. And he said, I know you want this job. And he said, you should go talk to Dell. So I went and talked to Dell and gave him my number. He'd never heard me play. And I thought, well, he'll never call me, you know. And a couple of weeks later, he called my house and answered the phone, and it was him. I could hear his voice on the other line, you know, or at the end of the line. It was incredible. And he told me, he said, hey, if you want to come down and try out, he said, we're playing in Nashville, we're playing in West Memphis, Arkansas, and Garland, Texas. And he said, if you want to come, you were the first to ask to try out, so you're the first one that gets to try to play and try out for the job. I came down, did those 3 dates, and got the job. And I've been there ever since. So it's been 30 years. Let's do Good Woman's Love. This is, we heard Bill Monroe do this song. He featured a lot of twin fiddles in his music, so let's give this a shot.
Yeah.
I'll try to sing it as well. Like that? 1, 2, 3, 1. out of me. Life had no meaning, it was so incomplete, till a good woman's love put me back on my feet. Instead of roaming, I'd go home in the evening, and she's waiting there. And I know that no matter what happens, she'll always care. And when night falls and the moon shines above, I'm a man with a dream and a good woman's love. I'm a man with a dream and a good woman's love. I'm a man with a dream and a good woman's love.
I started playing when I was 3. I don't even remember. It was too early, but apparently I saw some girls busking on the street when I was 3 and asked my dad for violin lessons. And they got me some Suzuki violin lessons for a little while, and my Suzuki teacher would teach me fiddle tunes as well, and I was a lot more into that than the classical side of it. So eventually I got a fiddle teacher a couple years later, and played a couple different fiddle styles and found my way to bluegrass eventually.
I was probably 8 years old and I started playing the guitar. And back to the Del McCoury question, the reason I played fiddle was I wanted to play in the Del McCoury band. And it was, it's a long shot. I grew up in Northeast Kentucky and they were from Pennsylvania. And I would tell my dad, I'd say, I think I want to play with Del McCoury, And he said, well, he told me one day, I don't know why I didn't realize this, but he said, son, Del plays guitar. And you play guitar. And he said, well, his son's playing the band now, and so there's not going to be an opening for a mandolin player because his son plays mandolin, and he's great. And I think his other son plays banjo. And so I was around 15 years old, and he said, if you're going to play in that band, you're going to have to play bass or fiddle. And we had a fiddle at the house and didn't have a bass, so I started learning. I picked up the fiddle, and he showed me a couple things, and I started trying to learn Del McCoury band music. So at around 15 years old.
So it's a true story.
Yep, and I got the job when I was 19. We got it. You ready for the big number?
Thank you all. I'm going to sing one now that I got from Peter Rowan. I actually saw Peter a couple days ago. I was playing down with Molly Tuttle at the Fayetteville Roots Festival in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and Peter had come a night early. He was playing the next day, but he came a night early and was just like hanging out in our green room for kind of the whole night, which was super cool, and telling stories, and he even got up and did one with us. But he's a legend. He was a bluegrass boy, played with Bill Monroe, and wrote a lot of really famous songs. So this one's a cool one that I worked up recently called Angel Island. fall. He left his bride on the Angel Island. He wrote these words on the wall. One more lifetime. One more lifetime. One more lifetime. Loving you. Working the gold fields on the high Sierra. The early snow began to fall. Buried treasure for my darlings under redwood trees so tall. Snorting all winter on the Golden Mountain. When he returned in spring, his bride was gone from the Angel Island. No one knew where, no one knew. Now I live my life like a Chinese painting. Shadows wash against the sky. Empty brush strokes for my darling. We never said our last goodbye. One more lifetime. One more lifetime. One more We actually met a little bit, maybe 2 years before the pandemic, something like that.
Is it really?
Yeah, 2018.
All right. I thought it was longer than that. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, maybe it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we have different versions of how we met too. We kept running into each other at bluegrass festivals. So I remember one festival, he remembers another one. It's a small world, the bluegrass fiddle world.
Yeah. I don't remember. The time I remember, one of the first times I remember seeing you, I had to have met you before this, but you were sitting out in the audience and we got you up to play with us. And you jumped right up out of the audience and come up and just burned the fiddle down.
But
and
definitely.
I had to play behind her, and I was like, well, might as well stay and play the rest of the set.
See, I remember another festival earlier that year in New York that we played some fiddles with Daryl and Brittany.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That one wasn't that memorable, I guess.
It was always
Oh.
Yeah.
No, yeah, we would like to do more shows. We were just kind of scheming about that today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little weird, We're used to backing people up with the fiddles, and it's kind of weird to, not weird, but it's really fun to play it's odd to us not to have a backing or have the rhythm section and all that, and trying to make stuff interesting enough to do this. So it's yeah, so it makes it a lot of fun. We got to do a couple things online during the pandemic, like what do you call
Those
this?
virtual shows.
Yeah. So that's a little different doing it from home.
Well, this has been a blast. Thank you guys so much for coming. This is so cool. I'm Bronwyn Keith-Hynes. This is Jason Carter. And yeah.
Yeah, thanks a bunch. Thank you. Can we play one more fast one for you?